Hi again, everybody. Now I'm here to talk about our zone defense. Our zone defense is an unusual zone defense. Again, we're borrowing it from the University of Central Florida. This is how it works. Here is the disc, and we have our two positions that follow the disc everywhere they go and stand right in front of the person with the disc are the mark and the wall. The mark is usually going to be about 5 feet off the disc to make sure that the thrower can't throw through her. And the wall is going to be just to the side of the mark. So they together create a shadow like this that makes it impossible for the thrower to throw the disc through the middle of the field. So this area behind the mark and the wall is essentially dead space, unless the thrower throws over the mark and the wall, which we're not going to be seeing a lot of at the high school level. So that is the mark and the wall, and again, they're creating a dead zone. The next position I'm going at, they follow the disc wherever it goes. We're always going to be forcing forehand, so the mark is always going to shade a little bit to one side, and the wall will shade a little bit to the other, but their focus is to be balanced and take away the middle of the field. Then you have these two X's that I'll explain next. These are our short deeps. So their job is to take away action. This is their focal area right here. On either side of the dead zone, they are focused. Let me reposition this. These X's, they are focused on taking away throws in this area. It's really, the cup is not doing anything to take away these throws. So they need to be very aware of people on offense cutting from any different direction, however they go. See, I'm drawing some really crazy spaced out creature right now. They need to be aware of cuts coming in all directions and always take away the most dangerous cut that is being made into their space on their side. All right? So they take cutters as they cut into the space. They follow them. They stay right on their back or right in front of them. So as the cutter cuts in, they chase her through, and then when she clears out through the dead space in the middle or off to the side, they run back and they're looking for the next person to pick up. The short deeps need to be very alert. They're always looking around. Their heads are on a swivel. They're always very aware of who's coming. And the deep on defense is also helping them to let them know who's coming in. The deep is our brain and our voice and our leader who always stays behind the last person on offense. So if the last person on offense is here, she's going to be behind her. If there's two people on offense going deep, then the deep's going to position herself between them so she can take away passes to both of them. And again, her job is to communicate with the short deeps and let them know when cuts are coming in. All right? Those are the easiest positions to explain, and the hardest position to explain are the sides. So let's clear this. Okay. So again, we have our mark and our wall, our short deeps, our deep. The other thing I'll say about the short deeps is, in general, they want to be pressed in. So they're definitely not going to be up on the cup, but like the further back you go, the more action you're allowing up front. And in general, if they're not too far back from the cup, they're almost acting as like a secondary cup, which is a good thing. This defense puts a lot of pressure on the person with the throw and makes it very hard for them to advance the disc. So short deeps can press forward a little bit. That's fine. Then we have our sides, okay? These are the sides, and their job is to make sure that a swing pass never happens. So a big part for a lot of zone offenses is to try to swing the disc. So if here's the person with the disc, she might try to dump it and swing it. And in general, the sides are going to play about 20 feet off of the person with the disc. So if she dumps it, they're going to have time to run into this lane and block this pass before the disc gets swung. Or on the opposite side, the disc gets dumped and the side runs in and doesn't allow the disc to get swung. Before the disc gets dumped, the sides are here, making sure that the disc cannot get swung, and they're also doing their best to inch this way, in this direction. So the further a side is toward the middle of the field, the tighter the throwing lanes are for the thrower. All right? So for example, let's say this side is playing over here, like all the way just taking away the swing. It makes this a bigger, easier space for the thrower to complete a pass through. So that's why the side wants to be a little bit further up, closer in this direction to stop passes from being thrown, to make the throwing lane smaller, while also making sure she's in a position to never allow a swing pass to happen. All right? Nope, that's too high up. All right. So that's what our zone D looks like when the disc is not in the middle of the field. Now let's talk about what our zone D looks like when the disc is in the middle of the field. This is what our zone D looks like. Now let's talk about our trap. So let's say that the disc, okay, we're going to draw little zones on the side of the field. So anytime the disc is within, let's say, 20 feet of either sideline, there isn't going to be a reason to have a swing on that side. To have a side on that side. So, for example, let's say the disc. Let's move our offense. Get rid of the offense. So let's say the disc was swung over to here. All right. So now the disc is here. So if we set up with our wall, our mark and our wall, and I'll take everyone out. If we set up with our mark, we have our mark and our wall. If we set up with our side over here, that's looking pretty good. We could have our short deep over here, that's fine, our other short deep over here, but this other wall, the other side, is not doing anything. So we actually switch positions. So when the disc is close to the sideline, we do what's called a trap. The funny thing about this trap is it's not really a trap because we're not forcing to the sideline. So what happens is the side is going to force the disc back toward the middle of the field. So she's again going to play off about 6 feet off the person with the disc, and the wall is going to stay as the wall. All right? So we have basically the exact same cup that we've always had, but what's different is that the side has become the mark. The wall is still the wall. The person who was the mark is going to take away the swing pass, so she becomes the side, and the person who was the side over here is going to play woman defense on the dump. All right? So again, we have this was the side becomes the mark. The wall stays the wall. The mark becomes the side, and the side plays woman defense on the dump. Covers the dump. All right? So that's what our trap looks like. We're gonna practice that. If I'll talk about the backfield now quickly. Let's get rid of all of this. All right. So we have our cup, our wall, our mark, and our sides are all set. We have the short deep is going to be here as usual. Covering this dead space. So the short deep on this side is going to stay the short deep on this side. The other short deep is going to help out more in the middle of the field in case any throws get thrown over here, and the deep deep is here. All right? There will be more information on this soon. Thank you very much. I hope this was helpful.